This debate will come to order. The resolution before us today is, be it resolved that South Korea will benefit from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics. Representing the affirmative sides are Ms. Elly and Ms. Jessica Jang. Representing the negative side are Mr. David Koo and Mr. Jun Park. On behalf of YSI Academy, I would like to express a sincere welcome to everyone. My name is Jun Do and I am your moderator. During this debate, each speaker will deliver a constructive speech. Each speaker will also get the opportunity to give a rebuttal. I call upon the first affirmative speaker, Ms. Elly, to introduce the affirmative case.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, my worthy opponents, and ladies and gentlemen. Representing the affirmative side in this debate, I support the resolution and will argue that South Korea will benefit from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics. I will present two strong points to prove my case. First, the tourism industry in South Korea will benefit enormously from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics. The Olympic Games showcased the host nation to the world, and most host countries see a boost in tourism in the years following the Olympics. Australia estimates that it gained over $2 billion extra in tourist revenue in 4 years after the Olympics in Sydney in the year 2000. South Korea can expect to gain as much or even more extra tourist revenue in 2018 as tourists tend to spend a lot of money in the host nation, city and nation. Furthermore, most of the money spent to host the game is not for 2-week winter games themselves, it is for roads, railways, hotels, and other long-term projects that will transform Pyeongchang, the host city, and South Korea as a whole, and attract even more tourists after the Games. Second, hosting the Winter Olympics in 2018 will raise South Korea's reputation on the world stage. This is because Olympic Games attract the world's attention, and the host nation always gets immense worldwide coverage. The Beijing Summer Olympics in 2008, for example, showcased China's transformation, demonstrating to the world China's impressive economic growth and acceptance of Western ideas. When foreigners go to South Korea for the Winter Olympic Games, they will also see all the good things about South Korea and very likely want to visit South Korea again. Before closing, Mr. Moderator, I would like to repeat my reasons for supporting the resolution. First, I argue that tourism industry in South Korea will benefit enormously from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics. Second, I clearly explained that hosting the Winter Olympics in 2018 will raise South Korea's reputation on the world stage. For these reasons, I strongly believe that South Korea will benefit from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics. This resolution must therefore stand. Thank you.
I thank the member for her remarks. I now call upon the first negative speaker, Mr. David Koo, to give his rebuttal and to introduce the negative case.
Although Winter Olympics are widely considered to be some of the world's most prestigious sporting events, they have also proved to be very harmful for some host nations. Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, my worthy opponents, and ladies and gentlemen. Representing the negative side in this debate, I contend that the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics will not be good for South Korea. But first, I'll do my rebuttal. My opponent, Ms. Ha, said South Korea is going to have strong economic advantages from the Games. However, I say hosting the Olympics will be a waste of money. Only for a 2-week event, South Korea is going to spend a lot of money, which will be very staggering to South Korea's treasury. And benefits are not guaranteed. Second, my worthy opponent made the 2008 Beijing Olympics, for example, because China showcased their economic developments very well at that time. Although China showcased their development, they also showcased their pollution problem together. And this time, same with South Korea, the bad air pollution is coming from China, and Korea will be very hard to figure this problem. Now I will begin my constructive speech. First, there is a real possibility that attendance at the Winter Olympics in South Korea will be low, as a lot of athletes and spectators will be reluctant to go to the games because of security concerns, namely the threat of attack from North Korea or from terrorists. We had bad memories of what happened at the 2016 Rio Olympics. At that time, the dangerous Zika virus was plaguing parts of the world, and Brazil was one of the countries most affected. Because of the health risk, many famous athletes chose not to attend these games, which disappointed many fans, and many would-be spectators also decided not to go. If a lot of athletes and would-be spectators decide not to go to the Pyeongchang Olympics, this could be disastrous for the South Korea, as it would diminish the quality and ultimate success of the games. Next, rather than benefiting South Korea, the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang will hurt the country financially. According to an article in New York Times in 2014, there is little evidence that Olympic Games give the host country strong economic advantages. Let's take a look at some facts. The 2004 Summer Olympics cost Greece about $11 billion, at least double what the Greek government had initially budgeted, making the 2004 Games the most expensive ever at that point. Studies also suggest that most of the facilities created for the Athens Olympic contributed to Greece's debt crisis in 2010. In fact, the Olympics have become a metaphor for this crisis. It was 2006 before Montreal, Canada finished paying off its debt from the 1976 Games, and Russian taxpayers will pay almost $1 billion annually for many years to come to pay off the debt from the 2014 Winter Games in Sochi. And as of 2006, Los Angeles, USA, the only host city that realized a profit from the Games. The odds, therefore, of South Korea making a profit from the Pyeongchang Olympics are not very good. Before closing, Mr. Moderator, I would like to repeat and emphasize my reasons for opposing the resolution. First, I argued that the attendance of all the top athletes in the world and crowds of spectators is not guaranteed. Second, I pointed out that the Pyeongchang Games will hurt the country financially. For these reasons, I declared that the 2018 Winter Olympics will not benefit South Korea. This resolution must therefore fall. Thank you.
I thank the member for his remarks. I now call upon the second affirmative speaker, Ms. Jessica Jang, to give her a rebuttal and constructive speech.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, my worthy opponents, and ladies and gentlemen. Representing the affirmative side in this debate, I support the resolution and will argue that South Korea will benefit from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics. I will give 2 strong points to prove my case, but first I will do my rebuttal. My worthy opponent, Mr. Koo, said that many spectators and athletes will not come to the Olympics because of the North Korea. But I disagree, because Olympics are once for 4 years, so if young serious athletes want to be shown off, they have to come to the Olympics. Also, South Korea already successfully staged on other major sporting events, so worries about North Korea is useless. My worthy opponent, Mr. Koo, also said that the Olympics will hurt South Korea. But I say the Olympics also can affect positively to South Korea. South Korea will be showcased as the largest and fastest growing economy in the world. South Korea also can expect to experience a major boost in tourism. Mr. Moderator, I will now continue my constructive speech. First, according to an article published in Economic Journal, South Korea will gain enormous economic benefits from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics. When South Korea won the bid to host the Games in 2011, thousands of jobs were created for its citizens, which always provided them with important skills and training. And during the Olympics, which always get massive media coverage worldwide. South Korea will be showcased as the largest and fastest growing economy in the world as the manufacturing powerhouse it has become. This will pay dividends. The gains will include a significant and welcome increase in exports. Trade is expected to go up by more than 20%, and like other former host nations, South Korea can expect to experience a major boost in tourism and investment in the years following the Olympics. The Olympics will thus boost the economy of South Korea by producing benefits that are greater than the preparation cost. Second, although the Pyeongchang Olympics have not yet begun, they have already produced very positive results for South Korea. Since January 9th of this year, representatives from North Korea and South Korea have been having talks. The consequences of these talks surprised everyone. Kim Jong-un decided to send a delegation to South Korea for the Olympics. The two Koreas will enter the opening ceremony under the unified flag and will compete as Korea. Furthermore, the two nations agreed to form a joint women's ice hockey team for the games and to have their skills practice together. This event will definitely reduce tensions on the peninsula. There is a good chance too that after the games, North Korea and South Korea will start working together on the peace settlement. This is because South Korea expressed the need at the recent talks to promptly resume dialogue on this important issue. Thanks to the Winter Olympics being held in South Korea, therefore the relationship between the two Koreas is better than it has been for years. Before closing, Mr. Moderator, I would like to repeat my reasons for supporting the resolution. First, I argued that South Korea will gain enormous economic benefits from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics. And second, I pointed out that although the Pyeongchang Games have not yet begun, they have already produced very positive and promising results for South Korea. For these reasons, I strongly believe that South Korea will benefit from hosting the 2000 Winter Olympics. This resolution must therefore stand. Thank you.
I thank the member for her remarks. The second negative speaker, Mr. Jun Park, will now give his rebuttal and constructive speech.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, my worthy opponents, and ladies and gentlemen. Representing the negative side in this debate, I oppose the resolution and will argue that South Korea will not benefit from hosting 2018 Winter Olympics. I will present two strong points to prove my case. But first, I will do my rebuttal. My opponent, Ms. Jang, said South Korea will have enormous economic benefits such as an increased tourism. But I disagree. Many people will not come to watch the games because of the fear of North Korea. Secondly, my opponent said North and South Korea will working together on a peace settlement. But I say my opponent did not think about relationship between the United States and North Korea. United States has bad relationship with North Korea. So, if North and South Korea work together on a peace, South Korea will have bad relationship with United States. Mr. Moderator, I will now continue with my constructive speech. First, there is no guarantee that South Korea will benefit from hosting 2018 Winter Olympics. In fact, it is more likely that hosting these games will seriously damage South Korea's national pride. South Korea does not have a long history with many of the major winter sporting events. It wasn't until the 2010 Games in Vancouver that South Korea won any medals other than for speed skating, and that was in women's figure skating. Therefore, it is a very real possibility that people of South Korea will face terrible embarrassment because of their athletes' low medal count. Second, while some people are pointing to the recent talk between North and South Korea as evidence of the Olympics already proving beneficial to South Korea, we, the negative team, does not share that opinion. In the first place, Kim Jong is an opportunist. He cannot be trusted. So, although at the talks North Korea agreed to work with South Korea on a peace settlement, this was probably just a way to get South Korea to accept a North Korea delegation to the games and to get South Korea to pay the bills for the North Korea delegation. Moreover, at these talks, North Korea said that it will not denuclearize. So its threats and weapon testing will almost certainly continue after the Pyeongchang Olympics. Before closing, Mr. Moderator, I would like to repeat my arguments. First, I argued that there is no guarantee that South Korea will not benefit from hosting 2018 Winter Olympics. And second, I explained that Kim Jong is an opportunist and that I believe its threats and weapon testing will almost certainly continue after the games. Therefore, I say that South Korea will not benefit from hosting 2018 Winter Olympics. This resolution must therefore fall. Thank you. Mr. Moderator, I will now begin my rebuttal. First, my opponent, Mr. Park, said South Korea will not benefit from hosting the 2018 Winter Olympics because of their athletes' low medal count. But I disagree. Even though our athletes' low medal count, the roads, railways, hotels, and other long-term projects will transform Pyeongchang. Second, my opponent, Mr. Park, said when Winter Olympic Games have ended, North Korea will continue to work on nuclear testing. But I strongly believe that after the Games, North Korea and South Korea will be working on a peace settlement together. Thank you.
I thank the speaker for her rebuttal. The debate is now ended. Thank you, judges, debaters, and audience for your participation.